I've been meaning to make this video for literally a year. I'm super late with it, and I have to apologize to certain people. We'll get to that in a second. So what is this video? It is a weight reduction video. We're going back to reducing the weight a little bit more on here. And if you haven't seen already, in the corner here, today we are messing with the rear bumper support. So if you watch my video, you know that I've already replaced the front bumper support. So there is a Speedlogix one in the front here. Now, when I got the Speedlogix, if you watch that video, I did have some critiques of it. It fit weird. People have had issues with the bolt holes not lining up. You can't use any of your original equipment things on it. It's not a great support. It does what it's supposed to do. It's super lightweight. It was like 2.5 pounds or 3 pounds, something like that. But it just, you know, it just has its shortcomings. So now they do make a rear bumper support, but I decided to wait off on that because from what I understand, you're not going to gain as much weight savings on the rear because the rear impact bar is actually aluminum already. It's just a thicker aluminum. We will find that out for sure in a moment. But then I found out this person reached out to me, Mr. Bob Glassby here. This is his card. He is with Complete Vehicle Integration. That's the name of his company, CVI. And he contacted me and I met him at Legion of Demons last year. Bob, if you're watching this, I apologize for taking so long to get to this install and making this video. 2023 has been rough. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I got no excuses. I'm sorry about that. So anyway, so at Legion of Demons, I won the bracket class. And as part of the prize package, CVI, Bob, he decided to throw in this rear bumper support as an extra bonus prize for winning that class. So now as you can see, it looks a lot different than a Speedlogix one. First of all, it is super lightweight. I mean, but you notice the design is totally different. Now, I'm gonna say this is rear support. He does make a front one, and the front one is really where he made gigantic improvements. In fact, he told me he originally looked at the Speedlogix one, but it didn't work for him because with the Hellcat, you have, I guess, an intercooler. You have other stuff that attaches to this, attaches to the front bumper support that he needed, and the Speedlogix just didn't work. So he designed his own. And talking to him, he did get with B. Mason. So if you watch B. Mason, you may have already seen it. If not, check out his channel. B. Mason has the CVI front bumper support that he put on his Hellcat. So you can catch that video. In fact, I'll link it up here. So let's get to it. First thing we gotta do is talk about the install. Now to install this, you obviously have to pull your rear bumper cover off. Now, I'm not gonna show that part of it in this video because I'm doing a separate standalone video for the rear bumper cover removal. In fact, I'll link that up here because I'll release that first. And that's because people have a lot of other reasons to remove bumper covers. So I figured I'd make that its own video, but it's pretty straightforward. Basically, first you have to remove these tail lights. And for that, you remove this little part right here, and that gives you access to some screws for this bumper cover. And then there's a couple wing nuts right here and a connector. Pull that tail light off. Same thing for the other side. Then you got to go for the bumper cover. And that's pretty simple too. So you got 3 push pins here. And then there's going to be some screws, push pins, and such underneath there. I don't know how many. We'll find out when we get down under there. And then back here in the front, it's kind of dirty. Haven't really had a chance to wash it. And obviously from racing, a lot of rubber buildup, and from Moparty, tons of grass. So, but there's, I believe, a 10mm bolt up here, and looks like a push pin there, and somewhere down there. We're gonna have to scrape that off. And then finally, this all snaps in all around here. And you want to start from the bottom here, unsnap it out, pull it up and off. And then finally, you're probably going to have some connectors you have to pull off, like the license plate light, maybe those sensors. But we'll see when we get under there. I've never done it before, and this is how we figure things out. Okay, so we got the bumper cover off, full access to our stock impact bar, and as you can see, it is in fact aluminum. If you need verification, here is a magnet. It's aluminum. It is not steel. For those concerned about like safety issues and all that, if this was a major structural component, it would be high-strength steel. It wouldn't be aluminum. All of the crash absorption, all of it is going to be in this body and in the rails, which are actually underneath right here. And that's where this support kind of bolts into. So really, this is the main purpose is really, again, for low impacts, low speed impacts. Or give yourself something to push against, I guess. You know, that's what we used to do back in the day, although now you damage the plastic bumper. And by the way, check this out. Look how much crap gets kicked up. Look at all these little rocks. Man, they're just little tiny rocks all up in there. So lots of stuff getting kicked up. Take a look at all this. There's even rubber, like completely open. There's actually rubber inside this impact bar. That's kind of funny. Okay, so now to take this off, there are just 3 nuts on each side here, and these are 13 millimeter nuts. Okay, now you will need an extension, obviously, because even with the deep socket, that kind of, well, you might be able to get it with the deep socket without an extension, but definitely easier with the extension. And that's not torqued down too hard there. And we just want to get these loosened up, and then we can undo it by hand. Other side done. Now with all 6 nuts off, just pull straight back. Oh wait, one other thing. So you may have a wiring harness, and as you can see, it's kind of just plugged in there. Just use these pliers here to lift that out. There we go. Now with that wire harness, and it's possible you may have more. I don't know if different trims might have more, because there is a hole on this side too for a possible wire harness. But now with that off, now just pull straight back, and here it is. See how much stuff falls. Oh, man. I should have weighed up all the crap that's been kicked up inside there. Look at all that. Rocks, rubber. Man, all sorts of stuff getting kicked up inside here. And there you go. One aluminum impact bar. Got a little bit of weight to it. Okay, with the support off, let's compare these, by the way. So let's take a look at them side by side. The height, basically identical. Look at the shape. The shape is almost exactly the same. Width, exactly the same. I mean, that is slightly different, but I mean, that's pretty damn close. But here's the great thing. This is what I love about CVI too, and what he did. Like I said, he designed these bumper supports so that you could still use everything like the stock one. And it looks like the bolt holes should line up. We'll find out for sure when we put it on. But take a look at that. He even adds a little hole for the wire harness. And it is on both sides. In fact, all 4 sides. There's really not a top and bottom to this. So yeah, this is just a very high quality support. And so much lighter. Still made of the exact same material, aluminum, and this lattice structure is definitely going to be a little bit more sound than the other company. So with that, let's go ahead and weigh the stock one and see what the difference is. Okay, scale is set, zeroed out. Let's put the CVI lightweight one on first. Hopefully you can see that. 2 pounds, 8.3 ounces. Okay, now the stock one. And we're at 10 pounds, 11.5 ounces. So basically we're saving a full 8 pounds with this bumper support. Not as much as the front side, but as I always say, it all adds up. It's still a difference. 8 pounds here, 8 pounds there, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, whatever. Everything adds up. That's how I've achieved over 500 pounds of weight reduction on this car, by doing all the little things. So yeah, if you get the rear support, you're gonna gain a full 8 pounds. And a big reason is because the stock one, again, is aluminum. So it's already not as heavy as a steel one. Whereas the front support, you're gonna gain a lot more weight savings because the front one is steel. And there's other parts that you can take off there, which, by the way, if you wanna see that, my original video, I'll link it up here. And then again, if you wanna check out B. Mason, he actually has the CVI version, which I'll be honest, looking at this and how well this is designed just for the rear, I almost want to buy his front one and switch it out with this other one. And then again, the absorber is actually integrated with or clipped into the rear bumper, which I'll be honest, I kind of want to take off the plastic absorber, but as you can see, it actually routes the wiring harness here. So it kind of clips into the absorber itself, and you have the harness all the way across. Yeah, I could probably pull the absorber off and maybe tape up the wire harness up here, but honestly, and I know I just literally said everything adds up every pound, I don't think I'm gonna mess with this just because I'd rather not risk like the wire hanging down, catching on something, or, you know, hitting the exhaust, because if it goes down here with the heat shield, who knows, maybe you'll hit some burn. I don't want to risk that, so I'm gonna leave the absorber on there as is. But now that we got this off, now it's time to install this on here. But first, before I do that, I'm just gonna kind of take a rag and kind of clean this area up here, because how often do you get in here? I may as well wipe it down. So let me do that really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we know the weight difference. Now it's time to reinstall this. So first thing, let me pull off this business card, because we don't need to leave that on here. And here again, I'll put it up for you. So if you're interested in these, CVI, Bob Glaspie, he's the guy that made this. If you're looking to pick up the rear support or the front support or both, get a hold of him. In fact, on the back of his card, it looks like that is actually B. Mason's car. That's his front support, and I think this is from the video that B. Mason did when he got it. And his Instagram, CVI_of_California. Definitely support him, man, because he did some awesome. And I think he makes the best supports on the market. Okay, so put it on, just line it up onto the bolts here. And as you can see, it fits perfectly on there. There's a little bit of adjustment, you know, so make sure that's pretty much centered. And just put the bolts on. And at least this time you can actually see the nut better than with that other support. We're not gonna tighten them on all the way, because we're gonna get them mostly just a little snug to where we can still move it side to side, so we can make sure that this support is centered. Okay, now to make sure it's centered, I'm just gonna grab my hands and feel the corner edge here. And it looks like it should be pretty easy, because you have 3 lines here. This is definitely center, and there's even a center hole, so line that up, and yeah, you're basically good. So now we can snug these up all the way. You don't need to go crazy with the torque, just good on there. And there we go. One lightweight bumper support installed. And the best part, why I love this, I mean, check this out. The hole is still there for the wire harness. Of course, I jacked up that clip right there, but it fits in there perfectly. And now all we gotta do is put the bumper cover back on, tail lights, and we're all good to go. But other than that, this is the lightweight support. Again, I apologize to CVI. Sorry it took me so long to get this done. If you got any questions, let me know. As always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you at the drag strip.